Don't let the surging food prices stop you from eating delicious food. Today, I'm going to show you how to make creme brulee all for under $1. Let's get started. Get a medium pot and pour in 500 milliliters of 33% heavy cream. Or if you'd like to try something a little lighter, you can always go with 375 milliliters of whipping cream and 125 milliliters of 2% milk. Now that you have your cream portioned out, bring it over to the stove, and we're going to heat it until it hits 150 degrees Fahrenheit on low, or until small bubbles start forming. Next, we need to add in our flavoring. Today, I'll be adding 1.5 teaspoons of hazelnut instant coffee and 1.5 teaspoons of Mexican vanilla extract. If you're feeling adventurous, try a bunch of different flavors and see what you might like. For instance, maybe a banana extract with vanilla and topped with chocolate shavings could be amazing. While we let this come up to temperature, we can move on to the next step. In a medium bowl, measure out 100 grams or half a cup of white sugar. Set it aside and grab yourself another small bowl and 5 large eggs. We are going to separate the egg yolks from the egg whites, placing the egg yolks into the sugar bowl. If you don't mind getting your hands dirty, you can separate them with your fingers, or you can try the eggshell trick by passing it back and forth between the two halves. However, you're more likely to pop the yolks this way. Now that we have our yolks separated into the sugar, you can set the egg whites aside for another recipe, like meringue bites. I'll have a link in the description down below. Okay, back to the recipe. Whisk together the yolks and sugar until you get a smooth texture. This process helps break down the protein in the eggs for a smoother finish. Looks like the cream has come up to temperature. Give it a little whisk to make sure nothing is scorched on the bottom of the pot. Now, let's cut the heat and bring it over to the egg mixture. Now, we need to temper the eggs. This means slowly introducing the hot cream to the yolk mixture to prevent scrambling. Start by adding a small amount of the warm cream while whisking constantly. This gently raises the temperature of the eggs without cooking them. Once the mixture is warmed up, you can gradually pour the rest of the cream, whisking until smooth. For an extra smooth and silky custard-like texture in our creme brulee, you can run it through a sieve. Make sure to clean up any mess. Now, it's time to portion the custard. Place your 4-ounce ramekins on a deep baking tray and then carefully pour the mixture into each one, filling them about 3/4 of the way up. Pour slowly to avoid any air bubbles, and if needed, you can use a torch on the surface to get rid of the bubbles for a smoother finish. To help the custard cook evenly, we're using a water bath. Make sure the ramekins aren't touching, then pour hot water into the dish until it reaches about halfway up the sides of the ramekin. This will create a gentle steam, keeping the custard smooth and preventing it from curdling. You can use a torch on the surface to get rid of bubbles for a smooth finish. Now, carefully transfer the dish to a preheated oven that's 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 35 minutes, or until the edges are set and the center is slightly jiggly. Carefully remove the ramekins from the water bath and let them cool at room temperature for about 30 minutes on a wire rack. Then, transfer them to a fridge and chill for at least 2 hours or overnight for the best texture. Once the custards are fully chilled, it's time to create that classic caramelized sugar crust. Sprinkle about 1 to 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar evenly over the surface of each creme brulee. Then, using a kitchen torch, move the flame in small circles, melting the sugar until it turns golden brown and forms a crispy shell. If you don't have a torch, you can boil them in an oven on high for 1 to 2 minutes, but watch them closely to avoid any burning. Let the caramelized top set for about 1 minute and then serve. Now, for an optional touch, let's add some fresh strawberries. Slice a few strawberries thinly, then arrange them on top of the creme brulee for a fresh, fruity contrast to the rich custard. And just like that, our Hazelnut Coffee Crème Brûlée is ready to enjoy. If you like this recipe, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps out. And here's some videos that YouTube thinks you'd like on screen right now. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.